Welcome to Neurodiversity Conversations. So I'm super chuffed to have you here today and have you listening to me. I'm going to keep it very, very short, but I just wanted to let you know about Neurodiversity Conversations and where I'm taking it. So if you've been in my world for a while, you will know that I write Neurodiversity Conversations. I try and do it once a week, but I started Neurodiversity Conversations as a newsletter. It started last year, and I really just wanted to have conversations around neurodiversity, to create newsletters and articles that will really help people not only understand neurodiversity, but have some really good strategies and takeaways that they can implement after reading the edition. Because as with everything I do, and if you've been in my world for a while, you'll know this, but with all of my training and all of my coaching and anything I put out into the world, I want it to be of value to you. So I want you to take away things. I want you to say as you walk away, that was really worth my while, taking my precious time to either be in Tamzin's training session or to read her article or anything like that. So Neurodiversity Conversations has been really, really exciting. I have loved every minute of sharing neurodiversity topics with you all. We're now on 42 episodes, and I heard that at the ADHD Congress event in Prague at the beginning of this year. Now, I wasn't fortunate enough to go. One day, maybe I will, but I wasn't fortunate enough to go this time. But one of the things that came out of that event was that we need to be hearing the voice of lived experience, neurodiversity, that will help us to share and spread the word and to help people who are neurotypical or maybe have a different neurotype, help them to understand things from another lens and from someone else's perspective. So that got me thinking that actually maybe Neurodiversity Conversations needs to be an actual conversation. So rather than me writing and sharing goodness in text form, let's have conversations. And this is where this recording has started. So what this is going to look like is it's going to look like a YouTube channel. I'm going to keep it really simple. So I'm all about simplicity. Life is so hard and so difficult. I want things to be super simple, not just for you, but also for me, because I know that if I create or try to create something that's difficult and complex, it probably won't happen. So I'm going to keep this really simple. I'm going to record Neurodiversity Conversations on Teams, and I'm going to invite guests along who want to share their lived experience, share their story. It might be your lived experience and your story is about yourself personally. It might be that you've been managing someone who is neurodivergent. It might be that one of your colleagues is neurodivergent and you just want to share and talk about that experience from your perspective. It can be you coming on, video on. It could be sharing your who you are. It can be totally anonymous. So if you want to share your story, but you don't want to share it as a video or even your voice, that's absolutely fine. I want to share your story, so your lived experience, whatever that might look like. So if you want to be a guest on my show, I would love to have you on and just have you share your lived experience and share from your perspective how neurodiversity shows up for you and those challenges, and also maybe those strengths. I know some people don't believe they have any strengths as a neurodivergent individual, and some people do. So we can talk about that as well. But it's going to be really simple. It's going to be on Teams. I'm not going to edit. So if you want to come on and you're happy just to have a free-flowing conversation without edits, you're very welcome. If you want edits, you're very welcome to do them yourself. I'm not overly techie. So right now, this is just about providing the world, whoever wants to listen to it, neurodiversity conversations in a really simple way. So I just wanted to put that out there. I'm not going to commit to doing one episode a week, but what I am going to commit to is to say that over the next 12 months, you will have at least 12 episodes come out that will share neurodiversity conversations and lived experiences. Obviously, I hope there's going to be more, but you know what it's like when life gets really busy and we're trying to do a million things. I don't want to put the pressure on myself that I have to do one a week. because then will just won't be fun. I truly believe that if things are enjoyable, if they're fun, and if they're easy, we're more likely to do them. And that is also backed in research and science as well. So it's proven that if we can do things that are easier, that are light us up, that give us those dopamine fixes that we need, and it's enjoyable, we're more likely to do it than if it's hard and tough and really not enjoyable. So that's what Neurodiversity Conversations is going to be. Thank you for bearing with me and for listening to me for the last 5 minutes. My first episode, I'm really excited to bring a fabulous guest to you. So wait and see where that comes from. But for now, I'm just going to share with you a very, very short lived experience from my perspective, because I've never, well, I do sometimes talk about my story, but a lot of you won't know my story, and my story isn't overly exciting. It isn't something that has been a huge detriment to me, and it's something that is certainly not as fascinating as I know some of my guests' stories are going to be. However, my story is something that a lot of people, I'm sure, can resonate with. So throughout school, I was always the child who wasn't good enough. I was always the child who got into trouble. I was always the disruptive one, the talkative one, the one who never did the work, who could never understand the work, and whose work was never up to standard. And I was trying my best. I really was trying my best, but the teachers just weren't listening to me. And I was fortunate enough that my mum saw there was something in me and saw that this wasn't just me being lazy, or it wasn't just me not trying hard enough. There was something else going on. So she took me to an educational psychologist. And for any of you who have kind of grew up in the 80s and 90s, know that kind of you only got taken to an educational psychologist if you were really, really naughty. So I went to an educational psychologist thinking, what on earth is going to happen? And what happened was they told me that I was severely dyslexic, but also I had really high IQ. So fast forward a few years, and I was asked to leave school before I did my A-levels, kind of a couple of months before my A-levels. And so I decided to go out into the workplace. And having that meeting where I was told you're not welcome here anymore was really, really tough. And of course, it's tough for everybody. It was tough for my parents, and it was tough for me. And I refused to let that stop me. I refused to let an opinion of one person tell me that I was never going to amount to anything and I'm not good enough. So I left school and I went out to work, and I showed up in the workplace as high IQ Tamzin. And that high IQ Tamzin really, really served me. It enabled me to have a phenomenal career, a very exciting, interesting, varied career. And it meant that I became a leader. It meant that I became experienced in L&D. It meant that I had just such an amazing portfolio of experiences and things to add to my CV. But also what it meant was it was exhausting. It was exhausting showing up and trying to hide and mask all of those challenges and all of those things that had led to me being asked to leave somewhere and being told that I wasn't good enough. So one prime example is, so I'm, as I said, dyslexic. I don't know my lefts and my rights. Do not know my lefts and my rights. I don't know my tenses. So past tense, future tense. So I could be in a team meeting, or I could be taking a client out for lunch. I can remember it so vividly, taking a client out for lunch and walking along, and then saying, I just need to pop into the shop to get something. I'll meet you in the restaurant. Which way do I go? And I freeze because I don't know my lefts and my rights, and I can't tell them where to go because I don't know the lefts and my how to get there. So it was little things like that that really impacted me. And kind of this was really before spell check or anything like that, anything in that period of time where spell check was just coming, but it wasn't something that we all used. So I really struggled, not externally, but I struggled internally. And I have now obviously realised that what I was doing was masking. And what masking brings is it's exhausting, and it can lead to burnout, and it can lead to self-doubt, and it can lead to showing up and not being yourself, which is really, really hard. So for any of you who are masking and who are showing up day in, day out as someone you think they want, whether that is friends, family, workplace, school, college, wherever it is, I know how hard it is. I know how exhausting it is, and I know how detrimental it is to you, but I also know how hard it is to slowly remove that mask. So I navigated through my career, and I set up the Neurodiversity Academy following graduating from with a social psychology degree, a 2-1 in social psychology. Best day of my life was walking across that stage and graduating. I've also co-authored a book, an Amazon #1 bestseller book, and I have my business, which is really, really successful. And I'm not telling you this to brag. I'm not telling you this to go look at me, because I'm no more special or different to any of you. You are all amazing. We're all capable of fabulous things. But I'm sharing my successes with you because if I can do it, the person that was asked to leave school 2 months before A-levels, I was told I wasn't going to amount to anything, I was told I wasn't good enough. If I can do it, you can do it. So that's where I'm at. That's my lived experience. Like I say, it isn't overly traumatic. There's not PTSD. There's not anything like that in there, which I know there is for a lot of people. But I was in that situation where I was told I wasn't good enough, and here I am now. So really, 2 things that have happened to me throughout my life. One is I've had people who believed in me. I've had my mum, I've had my dad, and I've had my husband. And they are people that have believed in me 100%. I can remember turning around to my husband when I was 37 and saying, I really want to do my psychology degree. And I think I'd said it to him about 1 million times. And he just turned around to me and said, Tam, just do it. Just do it. We will make it work. We will make it happen. And we did. So having somebody that believes in you is super, super important. And if you're listening to this, watching this and thinking, I don't have anyone that believes in me, I believe in you. Whoever you are, whatever your past, whatever your situation, I believe in you. I know you have it in you to live the life of your dreams. And I know that you have it in you to be whatever you want to be. The past does not define you. Whatever it is, I believe in you. And then the second thing that happened to me was realizing I couldn't help my challenges. I couldn't help the fact that I don't know my lefts and my rights. I can't help the fact that I'm really, really clumsy. I can't help the fact that when I'm tired, I drop things more and I say the wrong words. I can't help the fact that sometimes my brain just does not work. I can't help all of that. But all of those things that are my challenges, they don't mean I can't come and talk to you about neurodiversity. They don't mean that I can't have conversations with people. They don't mean that I'm not fabulous at other things. And I want that for you too. I want you to realise that too. So, like I say, 2 things that happened to me. I had people who believed in me, and I realised that I couldn't help my challenges. It wasn't my fault, and it isn't your fault either. So that's my lived experience. That's a little bit about me, but I know I'm going to have some phenomenal guests on my podcast, on my Neurodiversity Conversations, who are going to share some amazing transformations and some really interesting stories. So I cannot wait to be on this journey with you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for listening. And if you know anybody that would like to come on and be part of Neurodiversity Conversations, just drop me a message. And I look forward to seeing you soon. Bye for now.